Today we're talking about the Bitcoin ETF, its delay, and what it means. Don't get too excited, even though already most of you have hit into the markets. My name is Michael Kubera. Let's get into it. Okay, one of the first and foremost lessons is a lot of people are getting super emotional and hyped up about this Bitcoin ETF. First of all, there was the news of Bitcoin ETF last year ago with the Winklevosses, and now there's 5 ETFs. One of them is for volatility, another is for longs, another for short, and then the two others I forgot what they are. But the SEC has delayed the ETF decision, which is a positive for the short term and most likely a positive for the long term, although it's not a guarantee till September of this year. So that gives us a couple more weeks before we get a decision. Now, even after that decision, it's still going to take time before we see some major effects. A lot of people are getting super excited because they're like, well, you know what? We're looking for a trigger for a bull run again. We've been kind of hurt for the past 6 months. The past half year, we lost a bunch of money. Some people lost $100, some people lost everything, went into debt. And that is extremely painful. So you're looking for that solution to suddenly make all that money back and more. So you're telling your friends, you're telling your family, there's a lot of YouTubers out there that are manipulating markets, and not in a grandiose scheme type of way, but just with their words. Simple psychology, right? Since you are in an emotional state, you're listening to it and you're like, oh, okay, well, when there was the tax season, after taxes, the market's going to go back up. Oh, no, well, that didn't really do much. Okay, let's look at China. There was those decisions going on, and there was various movements with China, even all the way back in September when ICOs were banned. Everybody's looking at one major news piece, and it's like, okay, well, this is either going down or this is going to force the markets to go up. Bitcoin futures, okay, well, consensus conference, well, that didn't really do too much. It did move the markets a little bit. A certain ICO scam, okay, remember BitConnect, all of these things working in conjunction with one another, sure, they're able to move markets, but one idea, one news event, one holiday, whatever it is, no. And a lot of people are looking at this Bitcoin ETF situation. Okay, so for a couple of hours, Bitcoin jumped from $8,200 to $8,500, over $8,500. It has not been like that since the past 7-8 months, if I can remember correctly. Yeah, I mean, December. So it fell from $20,000 all the way to essentially $5,000, and it hasn't been above $7,000 for months, and suddenly goes to $8,500. Those couple of hours were influenced by the SEC essentially delaying this decision, which means if they approve it, which they're taking the time most likely to kind of research it further, have a positive feedback for the situation. If the SEC approves it, that's saying that the government is like, Bitcoin's fine, blockchain is fine, sure, we need to regulate it, but long term, we're okay with it. We acknowledge it, and it's important, similar to how gold is acknowledged by the government. And once America does that, you'll see a lot of other countries follow suit. Okay, so why would an ETF be good news? If the SEC would look positively at this, Bitcoin and Ethereum aren't going to be securities, and they're kind of already cleared, so that's a positive. Overall, the global debt issue, especially America, is horrendous. It's rising. Now, every country combined currently has a ever-growing debt of $247 trillion. That is impossible to pay off, and that is an ingenious solution, well, at least for the short term, for individuals who are able to profit off of it. The banks, certain government individuals, great. But long term, we're not really sure what to do with it. Nobody has a clue. I mean, you look at 2008 recession, and that was bad because suddenly you have billions and billions of dollars going to failed companies because companies are too big to fail. So what do you do when that happens? Again, except this time even worse because the problems weren't really solved in the first place. They were just kind of sealed for a time limit. So some people are looking extremely bearish on that, and the world's looking for a solution. Is Bitcoin and Ethereum necessarily that, or some other cryptocurrency? Well, ICOs are a nice way of gaining capital, but a lot of people were scared. The trust went down because there came out scams. The SEC is trying to make most cryptocurrency securities. If that happens, there's going to be extreme regulation, even further than if the SEC is just looking at it and they're like, well, it's okay, you guys can trade with it, less people are going to be able to invest in that, less people are going to want to invest in that. Is an ETF, is a Bitcoin ETF a good thing? Is it guaranteed to happen? There's definitely no guarantee that it's going to happen in September or October. Even in this year, it could be moved to next year because this is the third time the SEC is even looking at it. A Bitcoin ETF would attract more institutional investors. Bitcoin futures have been successfully trading on multiple platforms for the past 7 months, and the more people that are attracted to it, especially those guys who are moving from stocks and commodities into cryptocurrencies now, or at least betting on the volatility of this, is kind of good for at least the next year or two, whatever the outlook is. But the problem is Bitcoin hasn't really solved a lot of the big issues at hand. I think Bitcoin is kind of like MySpace, and there's going to be a cryptocurrency that beats Bitcoin. That is the Facebook until something beats that, and that's great. That's progress happening. Do we really want this as a community? Do we need this? Are we relying upon it for cryptos to move above 300 billion, 400 billion, hopefully hit $1 trillion market cap? Well, one good thing over the past couple months is we saw some stability where the market cap has been over 200 billion for months, and it dropped from nearly, what was it, 850, 900 billion dollars. Bitcoin was hovering around 6,000 for a long time, and a lot of the institutional investors were looking into that. But overall, it seems like there's some positive aspects from it, but just don't get too excited. Be careful with your investments, guys. And what do you guys think about this whole operation? Leave your comments down below, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching today. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share. Make sure to check out my latest Instagram page. There might be something you like on there: belts, shoes, bags, bracelets, whatever. We're doing a Gucci giveaway on my other channel, so head on over there. See you guys tomorrow. Invest safe.